Alrighty, here we are.
All right, welcome everybody. We're doing a special review tonight for Halloween Kills. I'm here with Cody, my co-host.
Hello.
Cody, how are you, sir? How
I'm
was
doing
your
okay.
day? Yeah, you still in spooky movie season mode? I see.
Oh,
Watching all the
totally.
Halloween movies. Yeah, we did too. We started. What we were? What? Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. Lindsay, my wife, she is off screen tonight. Uh, we went camping over
How
the
I like it.
weekend, and we're still recovering. So she's here in voice.
I do my best work as a disembodied voice, like a slightly
Yes,
tired,
she's
haunting voice.
she's actually asleep, but her astral projection is sitting here
it's
with me.
pretty strong tonight. Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. What did we watch?
You made me watch Michael Myers movies, and now I can't
Well,
sleep.
we watched Halloween Kills, which we will get into. Um, we finished The Fly.
Oh yeah, that was good.
You
Yeah,
watched the Jeff Goldblum one?
the Jeff Goldblum
Yeah.
Fly. Yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff.
So good, and
We
it's
just
hard to look at.
we were just watching the original '74 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, that
Uh,
movie is so grungy.
yeah, it is, but so good. Hey, you know what? You and I, we need to take a road trip down to the BBQ place that they opened up. I believe it's around Bastrop, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that sounds about right. They did film that around the Austin area, so that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it'd be about a 3.5 hour trip. I've mapped it out before, but we could go, go look at it and eat some barbecue from that place. That'd be pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, we watched that. We're trying to plow our way through some horror movies every night after the kids go to bed. We'll put one on.
That was the right
So
word. I
we're
cannot sleep.
except for Friday night, and that is straight up. We're going to be reserved for Dune, and I'm so excited.
Dune's not a scary movie. That looks
Dune's
pretty
not a scary
terrifying
movie,
to
but
me.
that's going to be my Sci-Fi Friday movie. That's
The
gonna
original
Well,
had its moments.
Yeah,
it's
the
got
original
sandworms.
is different. It's different. It was good, but it's different. So
Well, if you walk without rhythm, you won't attract a worm.
right. It's all about that spice too. I'm wondering about that spice, that space
If you
cocaine.
walk without rhythm, does that mean white people are safe? Like, we don't even
Yeah, white people are safe.
That's why all those white people are out there in Dune in those moisture
Yeah,
suits.
Well, I
but
only remember that reference because it's in a Fat Boy Slim song, which is that video where Christopher Walken is dancing around.
yeah, that's classic. That's classic VH1 days right there with the pop-up video. I remember that. But yeah, so last week we were talking and we were really excited about watching Halloween Kills over the weekend, and we were so excited that we were like, you know what? We've got to do a special little episode just for this movie. Like, I think you and I were both pretty excited. You a lot longer than I had because I hadn't seen the 2018. But I am now a fan of what they have done. Um, I'm a fan of what I'm going to call the perfect bridge movie. I heard it put best today that it did amble. It was just him on a killing spree, and I think that's what I've heard.
That's ambling.
Yeah,
that much gore is ambling.
and we'll get into a lot of the bad reviews that it has gotten because apparently people don't like this, and I think I understand why. Because they were expecting a beginning and an end, and there's not one to this. This is kind of like this is the Empire Strikes Back of this trilogy. Like it's going to end on a down note.
I didn't
the
even know it
Empire
was
is going to
a
win. And
trilogy until today, though.
yeah, well, we discussed it. We discussed it
Yeah,
way.
so
I,
I put
I
in the description, but I'll say it again. This will be a spoiler discussion. But yeah, I would think even more so than like Empire Strikes Back, this is very much like Back to the Future 2 or The
Mm.
Matrix Reloaded, where you feel like, what did I just watch? Why didn't it end? But it's
Right.
over.
It's well because it's maybe a lot of people aren't getting that it's a trilogy, and that middle movie is okay. Perfect example: The Two Towers. It starts and then it just, even after there's a big battle, it just ends. Like, okay, where's the rest of it? And if you're not a Tolkien nerd, like a lot of us are, then you were just left hanging. Like, what the heck? Like, it feels like we have this big battle that concluded, but they were talking about all this other stuff, and then it just dropped off. Like, it just ended. So,
Well, I know originally David Gordon Green and Danny McBride had a two movie idea,
mhm.
and then they decided to make it three movies. And I don't want to jump around, but I will just say that ending really felt like they could have ended it, but I know they want to save something big between Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers for the next one.
It's going to be the whole third movie, and I was okay with that. Her not having a huge role in this. Um, I was okay with that. Like, it's a bridge movie. That bridge that it's in the middle. So you're gonna have this awesome opening, which was 2018. That was an opening, and like, this is what we're getting into. This is how it's gonna be. Then you had Halloween Kills, which is like, you need a whole movie just to bridge the beginning and the end. So all you're gonna get is a bloodbath, and this is what
Well,
this was.
and it delivers on that. It's called Halloween Kills, and this is probably, I don't know if it is, but it's got to be close to the goriest Halloween movie they've ever
Mhm.
done. And that, I think, is a lot of people are not liking about it because, for the most part, especially the original Halloween, it's not gory. It's moody, it's atmospheric, it's a little
Right.
supernatural. This is more in vein of a Friday the 13th movie as far as like its level of violence and
I think they were like, okay, I want to. It feels like they were kind of paying homage to the other Halloween movies. How, like, in those,
well
they did amp up the violence, and they did become kind of Friday the
well
13th movies.
we'll
So
get into we'll go ahead and get into it. So we talked about last week how the first movie deals with the effects of PTSD with Lori, and then how it
mhm,
affected her daughter, and then how her daughter was raised with it, how she kind of tried to keep her daughter, Lori's granddaughter, away from Lori. So how PTSD of one event, one person affects an entire family,
right.
even though it's only one person's trauma. Well, I guess the daughter had her own trauma in a way. But in this one, we get to see how the town of Haddonfield how they have been traumatized and PTSD by the events that happened 40 years ago.
And that's kind of what I enjoyed. It was a role reversal. It wasn't just one. It just wasn't the damsel in distress. This time it was the entire town. Like, they were aware of it instead of it happening low key. Like, like the first two movies. You know, nobody's expecting it, and then all of a sudden in this one, the whole town
is on
picks
high alert
is
the
on
whole
high alert.
time.
Yeah, you feel their stress and their, like you said, their PTSD from it. They were like, man, this is real. There's a our kids are out there trick or treating, and we've got to stop them. And I don't know. I saw a little. maybe it was just me. I saw a little bit of social commentary in there, like as far as crowds, as far as crowds went and where that can
Yeah, I
lead.
think there is a little bit, but yeah, they're definitely playing homage a little bit to Halloween 4 because in Halloween
Mhm.
4, there's a group of guys that are in a bar and they just decide to get their shotguns and get in their trucks and go after Michael Myers.
Right.
So this one's like, well, we're going to use the whole town and we're going to show like how ugly people can get when they're like so enraged. Like they're almost blind to what even they're doing.
Right. And that leads into one of my favorite scenes in this, like, and we'll get into it, and it's basically the end. Um,
Oh, well, I kind of dug that.
no, I liked it. I
Yeah.
loved the end of it, like where you get that sense, and I don't want to get into it right now, but
You don't want to
I'll
jump
wait.
to the
I
end.
don't want to jump to the end, but
Let's save it.
Okay. Well,
I
let me
did.
tell
It
you,
did throw me off guard, and I did. I liked it. I loved it.
I absolutely love their recreation of 1978 in this movie.
Oh, yeah, Loomis, man. That dude was he was like a lead prop hand, and they put prosthetics on him, and they used practical prosthetics for that. That was not CG.
Oh, that's great. Well, he looked just like Donald Pleasance.
Oh yeah, that was
Seamless.
yeah. Like Lindsay said, seamless. It was perfect. I got chills when I saw I saw somebody complaining about that. Like, well, like in the first movie we got flashbacks, and in this movie we got flashbacks, and but I love the fact that they're going back and forth and they're showing you, you know, the connections and who's who and
But we got flashbacks of stuff we've never seen because this ignores Halloween 2. So instead of the
Mhm.
events that unfolded in Halloween 2, we're seeing new events. Okay, well, how was Michael captured? How did they get him back into the insane asylum? And like,
Right,
what happened?
right, and it did. It bridged that really well. Like I
And
liked it.
those flashback scenes look like a movie that was shot in the 70s. Like it looks like it's from John Carpenter's Halloween.
Yeah, it has that hue, that VHS hue to it, that that old movie feel. Yeah, they did a great job, and of course his music. You know,
Yeah, I will say that I prefer the score from 2018 than I do this one, but John Carpenter and his son Cody did a great job again with the music.
right?
And we should have known if they're gonna cast as well known of actor as Will Patton that I guess he didn't get murdered off by one of the things I didn't like about the 2018 version was the doctor character.
Oh, in the bath where they were murdered in the bathroom.
Well, no, see in the first one, the Michael's doctor tries to kill the cop and
Oh, that's
drives.
right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I didn't
but
care. Yeah, I didn't care much for that either. Like,
it just seemed out of left field. I'm like, okay, this guy's the new Loomis, but nope, he's just obsessed with Michael.
yeah, that was really weird. That was like a B plot that never got wrapped up. But
But yeah, so Will Patton's still alive, and we find out Will Patton blames himself because he stopped Loomis from blowing Michael Myers' brains out.
right. And let's hear it for all the original crew that came back. Like,
Yeah, you got the actress that played Lindsay, and you've got the nurse, but Anthony Michael Hall is stepping in to play Tommy Doyle, and they even decided to make the kid that Loomis says to move, get your ass away from there, part of the lure by having Lonnie as
yeah,
part of it too.
yeah, that was good. I did. I just don't see why people hate on this movie so much.
'Cause
Like,
people are exhausted. It is almost the end of the year, and they're cranky and cynical.
yeah,
And
maybe.
the blood just wasn't enough for them. That's
Well, like
why.
I said, I think some people this movie was too gory. They feel like it's not what
Yeah,
John.
okay, yeah, because the original wasn't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was the suspense of like, what was somebody about to get killed? It felt like everything was set up like every other scene, and really
Yeah.
the body count wasn't crazy like it is in this one. There is a
Yeah.
lot.
And a lot of people don't like that Danny McBride and David Gordon Green humor that's put into the movie, which I think there's less of it in this one than there was in the first one.
Yeah.
It did seem that way, though. There wasn't a whole lot of humor in it.
So I've heard people that didn't like the 2018 version like this one.
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah, that is
And I
pretty
know
interesting.
a lot of people are not fans of the Big John, Little John guys that are living in the Myers home.
I don't know. That didn't bother me. Like,
I thought those were really great characters. Why were people mad?
I guess they didn't think they were cute or funny. I just thought they were kind of whatever.
Yeah, see,
I don't.
people are pissy and they don't want
Well,
to
I
get
was
cheered up.
when
That's
I heard
what's
people
wrong.
didn't like that, I was like, well, is there something offensive that I'm not seeing? But
Yeah, I've heard people like making jokes like when Danny McBride actually meets a real gay person, how he'll react or something.
oh,
I guess I'm not looking at the right reviews, because I'm just seeing
yeah.
people mad about the story. They're mad about people being silly and making poor choices and getting themselves murdered, but that's like
They're mad about every horror movie cliche ever. Like,
which
Yeah, I was like, okay, one, that's really not a fair argument in a horror movie because every horror movie you watch, somebody is being stupid.
they have to
right.
make bad decisions or the plot doesn't progress. Like
And this is the
they were
same
just
thing
little-
because people accuse Prometheus and Alien Covenant of this too. Like these are scientists and they're making stupid decisions. Just
you
look
met
at the past 2 years of our society, and
yeah,
you
people
can't
make poor
argue with me
choices.
that people make stupid decisions and do stupid things.
Right.
And in the movies, they're in highly stressful situations, which makes them even more likely to make poor decisions. Just
Mhm.
the stress that they're under. That's such a silly argument to be upset by. In a horror movie, especially. Mm-mm-mm. See, and I don't even like watching people get murdered, but I thought this was well done. I thought this and the 2018 Halloween go together very nicely.
No, if you wanted character development, I can understand not liking this movie because there's really no character development in the characters. They're just plot pieces in this movie to
Yeah.
move it forward.
Well, when everybody's gonna die, I mean, you don't really need to
How
develop
far do
anything.
you need to progress before?
Everybody's just a meat bag that's gonna get it. Literally, everybody in this
But
movie.
is there going to be an end? I know the next installment is called Halloween Ends. So does that mean he dies? Because I thought that's
This
Yeah.
version, don't get me wrong, they'll probably try to come up with some other way to bring him back or do
yeah.
something different.
Well, I
Um,
heard that after the third one, they're gonna tackle The Exorcist.
yes, David Gordon Green's going to do a series of Exorcist films.
I'm
So,
kind of excited for that to see what he does with that because I have enjoyed these so much. Like I think he's capable of handling it. Because it seems to me like they care for the content. Like,
That they're passionate about scary movies.
yeah, like they're passionate about this franchise, and unlike Rob Zombie, he may have been passionate about it. He just was passionate about it a little too much with his own way. Like these
Yeah,
guys.
and now, which is famous with any famous franchise, when a new movie comes out and nobody likes it, people are now like, "Oh, well, this one was actually pretty good." Like there are people saying that the Rob Zombie ones were actually good, which there are people that really enjoy those. But
Yeah,
to me, I find most of his characters reprehensible. There's people just doing disgusting, dirty things in the movie.
mhm,
It's just not a pleasant watch for me. I just find his
right,
movies grimy and gross, and I don't need to see people getting raped and then get murdered and then people talking about wanting to rape people. It's just no thank you.
right. Yeah, I think he's just shock value
Yeah.
to be
Shock
to
value is a nice way to put it.
yeah. He
There's already
amping up
one
that shock
horrible
value.
theme. It's murder. That's
Yeah,
already that's enough. That's heavy enough. It doesn't need to be every
murder,
layer
death,
of
kill,
terror and
murder.
horror and the worst things that could possibly happen all piled together.
Right. But yeah, I was very pleasantly
I'm
surprised
sorry.
with
I have to
these.
say it's spooking me out that the window's cracked because even if it isn't technically cracked enough for me to be murdered through it, I've seen too much to. At the very least, a cat's gonna or a possum is gonna try to jump through my window.
Hey, possums are terrifying.
They
Yeah.
are, and I've come so close to almost petting one on accident. I really have to wear my glasses when I go outside at night because they're not afraid of you.
No.
Okay. Now that the window's closed and Michael Myers can't like throw a knife through that crack, I'm good. I can focus on the subject at hand, I think.
Well, let's see, where were we?
We were talking about people are boo-boo heads
Oh,
because they
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
like this movie.
Yeah, get your act together, people.
I don't even like scary movies. I'm like making myself watch these, but I can appreciate
Yeah.
how well done the parts I can watch directly.
I'll tell you what, people,
are
my
done.
wife, y'all should give her an applaud
You
because
should send me.
she has been a real trooper. She has watched so many horror movies, not only
I need
last year, but this
cartoons.
year too.
I need like some original
And she is-
SpongeBob and Dexter's Laboratory and Cat Dog sent to me.
She's branching out and she's embracing new horror movies, and that's awesome.
And I have to watch that Trick or Treat movie now.
Yeah. And we're doing, let's see, what are we doing Wednesday, Cody? We're doing
Something else.
Yeah, what do you think we should do? Well, we had a couple of choices we were throwing out there.
man.
Was it a
Should
two-parter
have
one?
we done okay, we did vampires. We did
You mean I don't get to watch Bram Stoker's Dracula?
yeah, we really do need to do Dracula.
I mean, we can still watch that. We don't have to talk
What about
it.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
I have not seen that.
I don't know if that'd be a worthy two-parter, like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and then Bram Stoker's Dracula. Like,
Oh,
That's an interesting double feature.
I don't know.
That would make me
I
feel
know
like
we
I
talked about maybe Get Out in the Sixth Sense or Get Out in Us.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. That was the next two-parter.
I want to do a supernatural, like, or a ghost story or a haunted house or.
I'm not going to be helpful because I don't want to sign myself up for something that's so scary.
There's the haunting. I don't know. That was kind of cheesy. It was pretty good though. It was decent for a late '90s movie. What was that? 90?
Oh, are you talking about the remake? Because the old one's from the 60s.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm talking about the remake.
Oh yeah, the remake's not even good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since VHS. I just remember bits and pieces of it. I remember Owen Wilson losing his head.
Wait, what?
Wow.
Yeah, wow, pop.
Say what?
In The Haunting. Catherine Zeta-Jones and who
Liam
else?
Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson.
Wow, what a cast.
Man, I don't know. There's a lot. I don't know. Well, let's think about it a little bit more. Let's see. Now, okay. Let's get to the ending of this.
Yeah.
Right, we can't wait.
Because
The ending. We got the whole town ready there to beat him down. And Sheriff Brackett, well, he's not sheriff anymore. He's like a hospital security guard now because he's like 80 something years old. But he says his line that he says in the original, everyone's entitled to one good scare.
Yep. That's
so ominous.
And then when you're like, okay, this is it, and especially for those people who probably didn't know this was going to be a trilogy and were expecting, because the whole tagline, which they say this multiple times in the movie, is "Evil dies tonight." So when you're going into this,
you're like, okay, tonight, you guys.
Yeah, tonight. You said it. I heard it about 500 times. And,
I could see where people would be upset though, because this seems like this would be the ending of the three, right? This would be like the end. The town like gets together and decides, you know what? We're tired of your BS, Michael. Quit murdering people. We're gonna kill you.
We're murdering you back this time.
But spoiler alert, that dude murders every single person in that mob, and it's a bloodbath, and it was great. I liked it as an ending because you're like, holy crap, that mofo is not dead. Like,
so,
that's a machine
we knew it wasn't going to happen because one, we know there's going to be one more, and two, I mean, I'm always like, is he really dead? Come on.
Right.
But here's the thing, they brought all these characters back and they pretty much murdered all of them except for like one person.
And the third one's, it's going to be closure. I get, she's going to die with him, I bet.
Oh, yeah, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, they're going to go out together.
Into the ocean.
Unless somebody comes back 20 years from now and is like, hey, Jamie Lee Curtis at 80 years old, you want to do another Halloween?
Well, you're still looking as just as good. You and Sigourney Weaver haven't, your vampires. Death becomes her.
I'd like to think.
Hey, Death Becomes Her is pretty decent.
Yes, it is.
That's a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's just so sassy, the whole thing.
But yeah, he murders the whole mob, and it's great.
Ugh, it's rough.
Jamie Lee Curtis's dialogue on the way out, like, he'll be back next Halloween. He'll come back, and
so funny to think that he's just out there being harmless the rest of the year. But okay.
Yeah, is he a mall Santa? Is he a janitor at a elementary school?
And then, oh my gosh, mall Santa Christopher.
Does he live in the sewer off of rats? Like, what is he? Does he hibernate?
What does he do for the whole year? Who knows?
Does he mingle into another hospital for the year and just like?
He has a landscaping business. It keeps him busy.
Yeah,
Autumn's kind of a dead season for landscaping.
He runs a summer camp for. Yeah, like, I don't know.
Or he works on cars since he stole a mechanic's jumpsuit.
Yeah.
That's true.
Trying to blend in with the only clothes he has to his name.
Mm-hmm. He likes some French fried taters.
No, Christopher, that's a different
mustard.
Scary movie.
Mm-hmm. Some lawnmower blades too. Real sharp.
Yeah, so are they hinting at like he's some kind of supernatural force that he has powers on Halloween night or something?
See, I don't know. I kind of got mixed feelings on that. Like, I thought he was just like, this dude's a beast and he can't be like, there's some, we don't know
like
what it is.
Adrenaline, and he must have one of those syndromes where you can't feel pain or something.
Years of psychiatric meds have just dulled him to the point where he is an unstoppable force. Maybe, who knows? you know.
But like, how many times has this guy? Well, how many times has he been aimed at versus actually shot repeatedly?
Right.
So many people have an opportunity to kill him. It's like stormtroopers out there.
I do like the fact that he wasn't all mangled or anything. He's just an old dude with a white beard that's just pissed off, you know, like he's he didn't like his sister, I guess.
Well, she's not. Oh, his sister that he killed. I was like, because in this one, Jamie Lee Curtis is not his sister.
No, his sister. Like, and then he's just got this thing. Like, man, that is the one babysitter I didn't take out back then. I'm gonna get her, even 40 years later.
Well, you know, he's got a reputation to hold, and she keeps living.
Right? He's like, I will murder the whole damn town, but you're going out.
But this film suggests, because, like, you know, in the original film, he just kind of happens by them. That's why he targets them, and because she goes to his house, right? She drops off the keys for her dad,
right?
Yeah,
and he just sees her. So then he's like, "All right, I gotta kill her." And they even suggest in this new one that, like, he didn't go to her house looking for her. Like, the crazy doctor man took him there. So he's just like, oh, okay, let me go see what's going on in this house over here.
Right, yeah.
He does
you go in that house and hang out.
Like in
here's a knife.
Well, in this new one, he's like going house to house trying to get back to his house.
Right.
But yeah, he like just goes into lots of people's homes and just straight up murders them after he murders a whole legion of firefighters, which, have you guys heard? There is a demand to cut that scene because it's violence towards firemen.
Yes, and those are probably the thin blue line flag flyers too. Which
I don't know. He faces off with an awful lot of cops that he manages to murder.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like firefighters. I straight up respect because they are EMTs and they are
right.
They are first responders. They actually have they actually have a purpose and serve a purpose. So yeah, I mean, I can understand, you know, on one hand, but on the other, it's a movie, you know, and they're fiction, you know, they're not real. You know, it's not like they're portraying them as this.
As he only targets firefighters.
Yeah, he only kills firefighters, or this terrorist that's running out of the building that hacks a bunch of firefighters up before he blows himself up. You know, which is a ridiculous scenario, but you know, that's not what this is.
Yeah, it's just a slasher movie, and there's a fire, so of course firefighters are gonna go and try and put out a fire.
Right.
Which is totally their job, but I was definitely yelling at them like, no, let it burn to the ground.
You were with Jamie Lee Curtis and her daughter and granddaughter. Let it burn.
Yeah, if the woman whose house it is like, please don't save it, just make sure it doesn't catch anything else on fire until it's done. But that doesn't make any sense. I would be the silly person in a horror movie in that case if I was like trying to stop firefighters, but that was a pretty impressive scene though, that whole house going up in flames. Woo! I've lost my pen for my notes. Oh my gosh.
Oh no. Oh hey, before I forget, The Frighteners would be good.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
The Frighteners is kind of cute compared to all these other scary movies we gotta watch.
But anyway, I give it 2 thumbs up. I really enjoyed it. It's a fun horror movie.
2 giant butcher knives.
Yeah, two butcher knives up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly. I mean, I've heard people's complaints. And maybe you just don't like those kind of movies. And you're never going to get a movie that's like the original. That's not going to happen. There's too much baggage with these stories.
Right.
And I think if it was completely horrible, maybe John Carpenter. No, because if John Carpenter really hated it, he wouldn't do the music for it. Like, he would just have taken the paycheck that they did another Halloween movie and been like, thanks for the paycheck.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't think he would have gotten involved and done the music if he thought like, oh, this is stupid. I don't like this. Because he's cut ties with the franchise a long time ago and could have been even richer than he is
Right.
because he didn't want to do what they wanted to do with it.
See, I'm missing the context of the other movies. I've only seen the first one in 2018 and this one. Does that mean I have to go back and watch them all?
Well, if you're following these new ones, you don't. But if you want the context of why certain fans feel the way they do, because there's factions of fans with this franchise of what they like and don't like, of where the series is gone.
Right. Dang, I'm not gonna get any sleep until December. I'm gonna have to watch all these.
Well, no,
movies.
remember we have all next month to wash our brains out. We're going back to Middle Earth, so it'll be cool. We can.
But not if I want to understand why people don't like this one.
No, I usually cut my horror movies.
I'm seriously I'm going all night without getting up to go pee because I'm just too afraid. And my bathroom is it's really close. It's still down a dark hallway, so I can't do it. I'm just gonna hold it. Because Michael Myers is in there, or he's right outside my window in my bathroom.
So is it the nature of the movie itself or that scares you? Because like for me, slasher movies don't scare me because like one, okay, this guy just walks. He doesn't run. He doesn't like he's not in a hurry to murder any of these people.
He's not in any hurry because he knows he's gonna kill you anyway. And it's all I think it's really the first one. The first one is so good. There's just so many moments where someone walks past a dark corner or doorway that I'm just ruined now because that's what's scary about Michael Myers to me is he's not in any hurry. He's gonna kill you either way. It doesn't matter how fast you run, where you hide, how many friends you have, how many baseball bats and weapons your friends have. He's gonna keep doing what he does.
Right. It's the supernatural horrors get me though.
Yeah,
like
the freight train of murder that he is. That's what's scary. But it's a lot of around corners and coming through an open window that it does scare me very easily. And I'm not like the most rational person at 3:00 in the morning in the dark. And now that's all windy and rustly outside at night and extra creepy. So yeah, I'm an easy scare.
Well, real quick, I know this is kind of getting back off subject a little bit, but have we done sci-fi horror movies yet?
Not for this. We haven't.
Not specifically.
What about Event Horizon as one?
That could be interesting.
Do you like that movie? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it since it came out, but yeah, I remember liking it.
Okay, because
it's like a little Lovecraftian, little alien ripoff, right?
It doesn't have anything to do with aliens.
Well, I know it doesn't have anything to do specifically with aliens, but it's people on a spaceship.
Oh yeah. It's they basically find a way to bend space, to fold space for faster than light travel. And when they bend space, they actually sent the ship through hell and back, and it emerged. And Sam Neill's wife was on the expedition, so he goes, and Lawrence Fishburne, and oh man, pretty good cast. But it was decent. I enjoyed it. It's pretty good. But I don't know. That's an option anyway.
I think my favorite kill in this movie is when he pretty much desolates that one car of vigilante squad except for one person, and he puts them all in those masks that the kids were wearing in the playground.
Yes, the Shamrock, the Shamrock mask, which was a
Mhm.
cool Easter egg.
Yeah, I remember somebody getting upset saying like, "Oh, well, these new Halloween movies don't count these other sequels, but they keep nodding to all these other sequels that they say don't exist."
But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing paying homage
Right.
to it, you know. You want to nod to the fans that you're like, oh well, we may have missed your movie like directly, but
It'd be
we
weirdly exclusionary if
yeah
you avoided
we
all
still
references to
acknowledge
the
the
other
movies that you
features.
still like. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, we talk over each other like every day, so we're just used to it.
Yeah, because they're nodding Halloween 2 because it's set in a hospital for a big part of it. They're nodding Halloween 3 with the mask. They're nodding Halloween 4 with the angry mob. There's even a little bit nod to the god awful Halloween 6 with possibly Michael Myers as some kind of evil possession force of nature sort of thing, but I don't think so. I don't think it's really. And there are a lot of people saying they wish Paul Rudd had come back to play Tommy Doyle.
Man, I don't know. That would have looked weird. A 26-year-old playing Tommy Doyle.
Because Paul Rudd is still
Yeah, because
the
he's
same
still
age he was in Clueless.
he still looks like he did in Clueless. So that would have been like Tommy Doyle's supposed to be this.
He would have looked like a weird man baby with all those much older actors and actresses.
Yeah,
that
with
are like
everybody
the original
else.
gang.
With everybody else, he would have looked like a baby. So, so I can kind of see where they went. Where they went with.
Also, I don't think we would. I think more people would have been upset if Paul Rudd got murdered in a movie.
Right.
Oh gosh, that would cause riots for sure. Mm-mm-mm.
Which check out the new Paul Rudd movie with
Is that what you're calling Ghostbusters now?
With
The
what's
new
his name?
Paul Rudd movie.
No, it's where he's playing. He's playing a shrink.
Yes.
Oh,
is
isn't
so
that
cool.
a Apple movie or Apple TV show or
It looks
something?
so good.
Doesn't it have Will Ferrell in it?
Yeah, it looks really good though.
It looks terrifying.
Where he's just. They said it's based on a true story, like I'm sure loosely, but I'm kind of interested to see what happens.
That's the real psychological thriller: is somebody gaslighting you and manipulating you to the point where you're just like,
yeah,
what is my life right now?
It sounds like he like Will Ferrell's pretty wealthy or owns a business, so Paul Rudd moves in too close and starts manipulating him and running his life and what probably turns out to be his finances and everything. So it looks.
Oh wow!
He's Paul Rudd and he's so disarming and like, I'm just here to help you, buddy. You're doing great.
Yeah,
baby steps.
It's gonna be pretty interesting.
Yeah, okay. It's like if What About Bob was reversed.
Yeah.
And Richard Dreyfuss had been trying to be best friends with Bill Murray's character.
That would have been. But anyway, yes, excellent movie. Please watch it. Like, watch them in order because this is going to be a trilogy and it'll make sense. And I think that, like, I am a huge fan now. You know, like I'm a believer in these guys. So, yeah. I recommend it. Watch it. It's a good pop. Make some popcorn. Turn out the lights.
Don't turn out the lights.
Have you a little marathon.
Watch it during the daylight hours.
No.
Scrub your brain
at
with
night.
cartoons and
you gotta watch
stand-up comedy specials.
You gotta watch it at night.
No.
It's the only way. Yep.
That's incorrect.
I did watch it late at night with just my Halloween lights on. Yeah.
Yep.
Good stuff. Yeah, I would say this is not as good as the 2018 one, but I think it's a fun movie. I don't know how you could like one and really dislike the other. I feel like if you like the 2018 version, you should like this, but who am I to say? Because apparently there's about more than 50% of critics, and people are like, worst Halloween movie ever, which it isn't. Now, is it the best Halloween movie ever? We already know what the best Halloween movie ever is. I don't think
Right.
anything's ever going to top that movie. But I think for what they did, they delivered. And I suspect as long as the next one doesn't drop the ball, people might like the second one more once the third one comes out.
Well, when the third one comes out, they'll have things to complain about that one. They'll be like, see, the one in 2021 was blah, blah, blah better. Like they're doing for 2018.
But most people liked the 2018 version. There were a few people that didn't like it, but it was pretty well received overall.
Right.
I saw a review that said this movie has middle child syndrome, and that makes me sad because I don't feel that way about it at all.
Yeah, the redheaded step
No,
kid.
not redheaded stepchild. Middle child is its whole own thing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know, you oldest child archetype, Christopher.
But you know what? This movie made $50 million at the box office, and someone's like, does that say that movie, like, people really wanted to see it in the theater, or does that say more about how many people have Peacock as a streaming service?
Right. Yeah, I think I enjoyed it just as much on my viewing device than
on your own screen.
On my own screen than I would have anywhere else. Like
and if I get really nostalgic for the theater, I can spill soda on my own floors.
Yeah.
Let it dry.
Walk across our own sticky floor. We have kids.
Are you gonna play a track of people like jumping or screaming too, like to get that fan,
like
that crowd
wrapper,
reaction?
People
we have kids come in and do that.
People whispering and then like
and
loud
coughs
during the
movie
and chewing and like.
No, what we need to do, we need to make the trivia question video and watch it for like 30 minutes before we let anybody enjoy the movie.
Yeah, they put shitty trailers on there.
It's the same 3 questions.
Yeah. And then serve cold, stale popcorn.
No, never. Not in this theater. No, sir.
Or get you a soda, but it's only half soda and the rest of it's just carbonated water.
Oh,
yeah.
They messed up the thing. Ugh.
Man.
Christopher, remember that job we used to have at a movie theater?
Right. Well, the only movie that's coming up that I am totally stoked about and I'm trying to set us up with is Ghostbusters Afterlife. They just showed the international trailer. Holy crap, I am so ready for it. Yes, I can't go on and on about this, but that comes out November. It's either the 11th
or the 19th.
I think it's the 19th. So it's right after our anniversary. Like I'm stoked. So yes, I'm excited. We're definitely going to the theater for that. So I've talked to him. I told you I talked to him about a special viewing. It depends on who I talk to. I know renting it out for 20 people would be like $120. So I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out because we're watching that movie, in the theater. It's gonna be awesome. Anyway, Cody, I'm glad you came on tonight, and we talked about this absolutely wonderful movie. Like you said, is it the best? No, it's not. But it was a fun sequel. Even just the nonstop killing was kind of fun, and that kind of worries me. Like that's a little sick, but it was still enjoyable. Like
it's the nature of this movie, and there's some inventive kills. Like he uses a fluorescent light bulb to kill someone.
Yeah. I mean, he just and then he gets everyone that he missed in the first movie. He goes back and gets, which is incredible. Because you're like,
Yeah,
oh
and
man, the
like
old lady from Texas, surely she's not going to get it. Nope, she
we
got it.
get even obscure characters like that married couple come back that were like going to the Halloween party.
Yeah.
And the boyfriend turns out he's not a complete D-bag, but
Well, yep, him and his legacy dad got it.
yeah,
So yeah, it was very inventive. I really enjoy the way they're taking it, what they've done with this, and yeah, and I'm ready to see their take. I'm really excited to see their take on The Exorcist. So
is McBride going to be on that too, or is it just David Gordon Green?
I don't know, but honestly, I kind of hope McBride's in on that. I mean, these work and they seem to work well together. So
Well, they've done a lot of work together. Like Gordon Green is the producer on all those shows. Um, they did that incredibly dumb, but I find it funny movie, Your Highness.
yeah, the stoner fantasy movie. I
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that movie. That one was rough, but very had its
and
moments.
Danny McBride was in Pineapple Express, which he did that movie too. And
No, I absolutely loved Pineapple Express. That was actually hilarious from beginning to end. So and I know we don't say guilty pleasure around here, but that's my stoner uh funny movie that's just hilarious.
so yeah, they've worked a lot together. So
Hmm. Well, all right, man. I guess we'll just be thinking about Wednesday. I know that's coming up. Whatever it is, we gotta get going here pretty quick. I'll probably start watching at least. I'll at least get one in tomorrow, and then you know the next one, the second one, get in on Wednesday. So, but
yeah,
I'm good with whatever. You said you haven't seen Event Horizon in a while, so I don't know. Do you want to try that one? Would that be one you're interested in? How about I pick that one?
possibly.
How about I pick that one and you pick the 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 opposite movie, so it can be one of your choice. I know that's kind of, or I don't know. I'm good with doing Frighteners for mine, or I don't know, man. There's so many good ones. There are so many good movies, like good horror movies.
Yeah, it's a long list. Maybe I'll send you a list of things to think about, or unless you just want to pick one, and I'll see if I can find a way to watch it, and then I'll pick one, however you want to do it, or I can just give you a list of stuff and be like, okay, we'll do those two, or we'll do these one and this one.
That sounds good. I'll just send me a list of things. I'll pick one, and then you can pick the other.
Alrighty. Yep. I can't wait for the third
Hey, hang
one.
on, just hang on.
So I like Halloween Kills. If you don't like it, that's okay. But I suspect that if you enjoyed the 2018, you should like this new one. And there's going to be a third one next year. Jamie Lee Curtis, mano a mano with Michael Myers. I don't know what else Chris wants to talk about before we leave. So I'm probably going to go ahead and end this. Be on the lookout for our next episode on Wednesday night. We will TBD on the film. Our films we'll be discussing for spooky season. And then Saturday, we're going to be talking Hellboy for our Guillermo del Toro series. So check us out for that. You can watch this on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks for watching. And Halloween Kills is streaming on Peacock if you do not want to go to the movie theaters. But obviously, a lot of people did want to go to the movie theaters and see this. And that's cool because, you want to see it with a crowd. Horror movies are a perfect way to see it with a crowd. But if you don't want to be around people and be in a crowd, then Jason Blumhouse and Universal are allowing you to watch it on Peacock. Have a good night and keep enjoying your spooky season.